Joining me now for someone who might have the answer to that question, former New Jersey Superior Court judge and host of Judging Freedom podcast, Judge Andrew Napolitano. All right, Judge, what the heck is going on here? And, if this judge has so little experience, how is it staying on his desk?
All right, so New York has two fallacies here in the system. One is the prosecutors are popularly elected, and in the course of that campaign, they pick a target that is unpopular, and they promise to go after that target. You just ran the clips of Letitia James when she was running for office, rousing up hatred for President Trump. And then once she gets in office, she's expected to fulfill the promise. That is a defect in the system, but that's been the system in New York for 100 years. The other problem with this case is if people have borrowed money from banks and paid the bank back, the bank made money, the people got their loan. They bought the property for which they borrowed the money. Nobody lost a nickel. She can still sue the person if the information they gave the bank was inaccurate. This is a defect again in the system because it's just a paper prosecution. Who does she say was the victim here? The state. Right. The state says it was victimized by Donald Trump tricking a bank. Tricking the bank. It was one of the biggest banks in the world that had their own appraisers look at the same property, Deutsche Bank. The bank made money. Trump didn't lose. The bank didn't lose. No harm, no foul, but still a prosecution because New York has this wacky statute that lets the attorney general do this even when no one's been harmed.
Yeah, but you can't have Donald Trump going around making all those jobs, Judge. It's just not good business, I guess. But Trump spoke actually just a couple moments ago. Listen to what he said.
I've employed thousands and thousands of people in New York, and they should respect that. The Attorney General of this state is a disgrace. Letitia James is a disgrace. She's a disgrace to our country and to the state of New York. She should focus on all of the violent crime and the murders going on in New York, not on somebody that paid back the banks in full without a default.
Judge, one of the crazy things about this case is normally you don't criticize a judge or a prosecutor or anything. That Trump is like, you know what, the gloves are off. I'm going to say what I got to say.
Right. It is unusual to criticize them personally. There's an old one-liner lawyers use. You don't taunt the alligator until after you've crossed the stream. You still have to deal with that prosecutor. You still have to deal with the judge. Here's another anomaly in New York, which is crazy. She's the attorney general. You would think she's the chief law enforcement officer in the land. She's not. She can't indict anybody. The only people that can indict and prosecute are the county district attorneys. It's a crazy system, but she is playing it for the max. She is using it for political purposes. She has targeted him because she perceives him as unpopular amongst New Yorkers. She doesn't care the people that he's hired. She doesn't care that the banks didn't lose a dime. She cares about the PR that she gets for complying with her campaign promise. That is the wrongful use of the courts, Carl.
Yeah, I happen to agree. Judge Andrew Napolitano, appreciate the insight, sir.
Of course, my friend.